Hello, everybody. Stone Cold Sailor here. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. But you know, I've had some windshield time today, and what that means is I've had time to listen to this sham of an impeachment in the House. And I keep hearing the Democrats, and Nadler in particular, say the one thing they haven't heard is any of them defending what the president did. Now, here's the thing. Is, first off, the president didn't do anything wrong. Okay? Did he mention the Bidens in a phone call to the Ukrainian president and say perhaps they need to be investigated? Yes, he did. Was that because Joe Biden, who, by the way, right now it's third in polling in the Democratic primaries, is a rival of President Trump's? No, that's not it at all. Here's what it actually is, folks. The Democrats know that they cannot beat Trump in the election. They have nobody who can defeat Donald Trump in the election. It's that simple. So let's go over some of the talking points that the Democrats have said about Donald Trump, shall we? Some of the quote-unquote evidence they claim to have. They have one guy who said he overheard a Ukrainian on a phone conversation with President Trump who and this guy claimed to have overheard in a phone conversation in a crowded restaurant, and the cell phone that the guy was using wasn't even on speakerphone. He claimed to hear the conversation. Let me explain something to y'all. Half the time on my cell phone, if I'm in a restaurant, I can't hear a conversation that I'm having with somebody if I'm talking to them on a cell phone in a crowded restaurant. Let's be real. That's false. No evidence of the phone call or what was said on that phone call. Let's talk on the 25th. On the phone call, sorry about the monkey that's hanging here. Let's talk about the phone call on July 25th. In the Bidens. What's one of the president's primary duties in accordance with the Constitution of the United States? Well, one of the primary duties is this: to faithfully execute the laws of the land. Which meant when Joe Biden opened his big mouth and said that he strong-armed and threatened to withhold $1 billion in aid if the Ukrainian president did not fire a prosecutor, then they wouldn't get the $1 billion in aid. So now, and Judge Perchance, the prosecutor, was the same one who investigated, or at the time was in the process of investigating the company that his son, Hunter Biden, was a board member of, even though he had absolutely no qualification but was getting paid $50,000 a week. Yeah. He wasn't getting paid $50,000 a week because of his expertise in Ukraine or his expertise in natural gas. He's getting paid $50,000 a week for access to the vice president. Use common sense here, folks. But So he was faithfully executing the laws of the land. That's what the president was doing in that phone call. Why not? Now, I've heard this. Why not trust the FBI and the CIA to do this investigation? You mean the same FBI that investigated a very fake Russian collusion? You mean them guys? You mean the FBI whose lawyer and one of the agents who investigated not only Hillary and had their mind made up, but also were involved in the Russian collusion investigation and were texting back and forth about how they could stop Trump from becoming president? Is that the FBI you're talking about? Or maybe you're talking about the FBI that submitted the document that tipped the FISA court to give them a FISA warrant against Carter Page, while giving 17 misleading quote-unquote facts or omitting facts that exonerated the president, back then candidate Trump. Is that the FBI he was supposed to trust? And it's not the FBI agents, it's not the foot soldiers, it's the head. It's that moron Comey. Okay? Who, by the way, on national TV leading into the 2016 election, laid out the entire case against Hillary and would not recommend that she be prosecuted. Is that the FBI y'all were saying Trump should have had to do the investigation into Biden? Really? Yeah, they're the higher ups there are really trustworthy. You mean the FBI that signed off on 4 different FISA warrant applications saying the Steele dossier was completely verified, and then came out after the investigation and said, well, it was unverifiable? Those the guys you talking about? The trust? Right. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at who really in 2016 recruited foreign adversaries or foreign governments, foreigners to try and help them win an election. Steele dossier, made up by a British national, put together, was paid through an organization called Fusion GPS by the DNC and Hillary campaign, which is a fact that was left out of the FISA warrant application, by the way, because then the courts would have seen it for what it was, which was a completely BS story. It was a political hack job. Or maybe, just maybe, we should go on ahead and take a look at the by the way, I'm doing this hands-free, guys. Maybe we should look at, the guy who provided the information, Christopher Steele, was so trusted by the FBI that he was actually fired by them. Maybe, just maybe now, when Carter Page was questioned, he said, yeah, I was in touch with Russian government officials because I was working for the CIA, and the CIA confirmed that. But that wasn't in the FISA warrant application either. Maybe, just maybe, since we're talking about foreign interference in the campaign, We are looking at someone who paid Russian operatives to make up fake information, like prostitutes peeing on Trump in a hotel room in Moscow, which was all fake. 90% of the Steele dossier that was used for that FISA application, the information was fake. At least 90%. Probably more. Okay, but hey, we're supposed to trust the FBI, right? Supposed to trust them. They wouldn't do anything crooked or anything, right? So, second here, I gotta get some gas.